Hey there, I'd like to do a quick video and just overview this new diesel heater that I picked up from Vevor. This is one of your classic Chinese diesel heater distributors. You can get the same heater on Amazon. However, I purchased this one straight from the Vevor website. I've heard mixed opinions on whether or not that's a good thing to do. I've read on Reddit some horror stories of people purchasing directly from Vevor on their website and having issues with shipping or double charges. But I'll be honest, I've purchased three, a couple $100 items straight from them because it was a little bit cheaper than from them on Amazon, and they all came. And so I haven't had an issue yet, but I'm always kind of prepared to have to make a PayPal complaint. So regardless, this is my second diesel heater from Vevor. The first one I purchased probably 2 years ago now, and I can't say I've put, crazy hours on this in terms of runtime. I mean, it's probably got about 2 or 3 nights, full nights of camping, and then I've now since hard installed it sort of in my garage, so it runs off of a inverter which plugs right into my 110 in the garage, and then it exhausts out the wall using a marine diesel heater exhaust flange, essentially. I can put a link up in the video here for that one. But yeah, this one's been running great. I mean, yeah, I've thrown a couple codes once in a while, but nothing that hasn't been complicated. You look up the codes on online or on a bunch of Facebook groups for these Chinese diesel heaters, and most of the time it was either I was using this long hose and it was, bent a little bit too close to the air, the heat output opening, and then it overheated. Other error codes I had were before I put this on, I was trying to run it off of my cigarette lighter through the EcoFlow, which worked on and off. So I think it had to do with what the diesel heater was drawing and it being more than the 10 amp max that most of these brand name power stations will allow you to output. So I have since found a workaround, like I said, on these units, these older units. This is the vertical version. This inverter, I could use then this 110 outlet plug, and I can plug it into the EcoFlow power station, and it runs it totally fine. It does, however, run a little bit more of an output draw in terms of watts than this one, which you'll see, which is kind of cool. Now, I think I could have narrowed that down. This is sort of a side thing. I got it off of many videos on YouTube, but essentially I bought exactly what another YouTuber had said. This was a 30 amp output. I think it was rated to like 300 watts, but I've seen people get away with like 200 watts, and as long as it's over 15 amps output, you should be good, because this draws over 10. So 15 amps output should be good. Like I said, I bought this one which has 30 amps. I think it was overkill, and I think that's part of the reason why it pulls a bigger draw even on the low heat setting on my power station, which means I get less runtime from this 500 some watt power station from EcoFlow. This is the EcoFlow River Pro 2. But this new unit I just picked up, delivered this week. I just ran it one evening, just putzing around in the garage. This one was cool for a couple reasons. So they've updated not all their units, but Vevor has added a couple, I'm going to say, premium features that maybe some of the more expensive diesel heaters had. And I'm glad for the under $150 Canadian free shipping price point to see those features on this Vevor. So those features include, first of all, it's the horizontal format. I wanted to try the horizontal. Nothing wrong with the vertical. I just thought this might be a little easier to move around in the vehicle, stack things on top of it, or put this on top of other stuff without it tipping as easily. So that's one reason why I went with this. They have 2-handle versions of the horizontal units. I opted for the 1-handle version because it's just easier to maneuver. You don't need 2 hands to grip both sides, which on some Facebook groups I've seen people complain about that naturally because it's a little awkward. You need 2 hands to maneuver it around. Other features I really like. So I haven't tested this yet. I do intend to. This unit has a built-in carbon monoxide detector, which is obviously extremely great. So if you're using this, camping, or if it's a little closer to your tent than you'd like, obviously you should always practice good exhaust, placement. Have the exhaust properly hooked up. Make sure there's no gaps or leakages. Have it venting away from your tent, your rooftop tent, your truck bed, your garage, cabin, van, whatever. I know guys will put this in on their camper vans. They'll exhaust it out on the opposite side of their camper van door. So just little things that you want to practice in terms of exhaust safety. But I really enjoy that this has the carbon monoxide detector built in. So that was one perk. Again, I haven't tested it, but I would imagine it works enough. I do intend, now that I've just recently hard installed even the vertical heater in the garage. It does not have a carbon monoxide detector, but I am going to put one right here, one that plugs into the 110, just for safety. I think it's always handy to have, so I recommend that. But I'll be honest with you, besides the carbon monoxide detector, the reason why I went with this specific unit, in addition to the horizontal format, the single handle in the middle making it easier to carry, is this. So they take all the guesswork, all the, hey, do I need a cigarette lighter? Will my EcoFlow power station or whatever brand power station I have, will it run it? Will it go on the under 10 amp limit, or will it blow the breaker? Because it always depends on the brand. Some guys online will say, yeah, it works just fine. Some guys will have the same model online and say, nope, doesn't work on mine. So depends on the heater, depends on the unit of power station you have. A lot of different opinions on gauge wires, and because you're essentially just given just bare eyelet opening ends with the other units. And so this one, just kind of make it clear for you here. So it's a 12 amp output. So like I said to you earlier, that power station I installed on the inverter I installed on the vertical one in the garage now, it's 30 amps. And I heard online you can get away with 15's probably safe, but this one's got an output of 12 amps, which, I mean, based off of everything I've read, these things will pull 10.5 amps, maybe 11 amps. So I think 15 is just playing it safe, but clearly you can get away with 12 on this guy. And it's 100 to 120 volts. So this takes the guesswork. Now, yes, of course, you can buy what I bought on Amazon, that silver unit on the other one. A lot of YouTube videos, citing the things you can buy for that. Guys will, take old Xbox power bricks and modify those to work with their diesel heater. But I mean, look at this. This is just, if I unplug it here, it's the first time I'm unplugging it since plugging it in. So give me a second here. It's a little stiff. Yeah, look at that. It's so convenient. I just think this is fantastic. It saves all the guesswork. I've plugged it straight into the EcoFlow on the 110 here. It's worked great, works great on the garage. I've only putzed around with it a bit since getting it this week, but it ran perfect. And like I said, a couple pros of this particular unit: single handle. The horizontal format makes it a little easier to throw in the van, a little more, in your SUV. I camp out of an FK Cruiser. It doesn't tip as easily. The carbon monoxide detector, if it works, is an excellent touch. This control unit, I mean, I haven't had any complaints with it. It's set up fairly similar to this old school one here. Some of the readouts are a little different. I haven't really played around with a lot of the settings yet, but this one, I don't know if you can change it. I'm assuming you can. I haven't bothered. I probably won't bother, but it measures temperature by heat level. So it's a heat level 1, and I think it goes to 6 as the max. What I like about this one is that this one actually lets me actually adjust the temperature. I put it set in Celsius because Canada. But yeah, I'll plug this in here and I'll show you what that looks like on startup. Get the garage door open, exhaust it out. All right, I've got this set up here extremely jankily. Like I said, this is just for your video here. I'm not gonna let it run very long at all, but so just like, you know, the vertical heaters, you do have to put it on some sort of a riser, 2x4 tilted. I haven't done that yet. This is that new. I do intend to, or I might use metal brackets or something on this one, something a little cleaner than a 2x4. But so yeah, you can see it's not level. I'm basically resting on the exhaust right now, and I just tucked it out my garage door. But it'll work to show you how this operates. So I'm going to turn my EcoFlow on. So right now I'm at 43% charge. Take a look at this, because this will be kind of cool. 43% charge. And right now that this is sort of turned on, it hasn't started yet, but it says, you know, roughly 32 hours. So I'm going to hit the on button. It does give me the current temperature. Okay, so she says start up. It's at level 1 because that's what I turned it off at the other night. So it's going to start up. Okay, I just shut off the other vertical diesel heater. So it's just running on its end sequence right now, but I wanted you to be able to hear the startup sequence on this new one. So it's level 1. Probably the more important information is going to be over here. So you can see it's, you know, the fuel pump started, and it's, you know, we're, you know, peaking at 136, 137 watts output. So just kind of let you watch that for a second. You can hear the fuel pump going a little bit more now. Now notice this, like, I'm at 40% charge, and yeah, it says I only get 2 hours on this, but you know, that's just based off of that first initial draw for the glow plug. You know, already, you know, it's saying, you know, 0 watts, which is not accurate, but the 15, 30, like we've already dropped, right? You went from 137 to 27, you know, mid 30s. And look at the hours, obviously have jumped as well. At 40%, I get 8 hours. Now, you know, it's picking up. Exhaust is going pretty steadily now, and then I can feel the output. Not really hot yet. It's just, you know, lukewarm at the moment. I wouldn't say it's super warm. Getting there. Okay, you can hear everything going a little faster. Hope you can hear everything okay over this heater going, and then the vertical one behind me doing its shutdown sequence. A lot of fans going right now. So if I go through some of the buttons, it says I got 13 volts power. Heat level, like I said, I'd like to find out if I can put this at the temperature that I want it at in Celsius, like the other unit. I'm sure I can. I just haven't dug through anything yet. Heat level, and then there is another button here. What do we got? Okay, power, up and down. I haven't dug too much, honestly. I probably should do a little more homework on this particular unit. I feel like the older unit was a little bit more intuitive initially, but they're not that hard to figure out. Don't be afraid of playing around with them. Here's the remote, super basic as always, on, off, up, down. And this one I didn't have to sync at all. Like if I want to raise the heat on this, hit the on button. When she jumped to heat level 2, hit the plus button again, heat level 3, and then the output draw increases. But if I go back down here, I just want to show you Like it's putting out heat right now. Like this is nice. Like this would put me in my underwear in a tent real quick. You know, even, you know, this is Alberta, Canada, so, you know, we get some pretty cold minus 30 degree winters. But, you know, don't rely on a unit like this. You know, go prepared with your proper sleep gear to do without, but yeah, you'll be in your underwear real fast with that one. Take a look at that. I mean, okay, so it says 0 watts output right now. It's still giving me heat, and I got 11 hours. That whole startup took, you know, 2% off the life there, and of the power station. Look at that, 17 watts, 24 watts. You know, this is two, you know, one night for sure, but this is, you know, 2 nights camping, assuming that, you know, you're taking the remote inside the tent with you and you're shutting it off and you're getting hot, which I do. I don't run it the whole time because, like I said, even on low, not this one, but, you know, when I ran that one in the tent, I got hot real quick. So I would just shut it off, and then if I woke up because I was cold, I would turn it back on. So that makes this last a lot longer. Obviously, you know, classic cold weather stuff. For those of you that are in warmer weather, you're not going to really worry. Winter camping for you is walk in the park. But, you know, if you're camping, you know, minus 15 and lower Celsius, you know, minus 20, minus 25, I do believe that these do discharge a little bit because of the cold. So my setup in the past was I put this in the FJ, where at least it's a little warmer and out of the wind, and then I just ran the power cord that I had, you know, just gently under the door of the FJ, shut the door, ran the heater, you know, beside the vehicle, and then had the long 3-inch hose going to the tent. Yeah, I mean, look at that, 13 hours. We're fully started up now. It's putting out nice hot heat. I did forget to mention that this unit also has Bluetooth, so a couple draws, horizontal, a little more stable, one handle, carbon monoxide detector. They all have a remote, but it's got the remote. Big draw is this built-in power brick, which takes out all the guesswork and makes it totally idiot-proof regarding electrical. You can run it pretty guilt-free on any power station of any size. Just depends on how long you'll run it for, but you don't have to worry about blowing the typical 110 fuse or breaker in the 12-volt cigarette lighter socket that most of these guys have. For those of you considering the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, I have had fairly good success with the 10-volt, with the cigarette lighter, the 12-volt cigarette lighter. Not getting blown by these guys, even if I plug this into that. I will note that this unit, besides this cord, also came with, let's see if I can get it quickly here. Pardon the shaky cam here. Came with this. So, you know, classic. This is what they usually have, right? Those 2 leads. And then in this case, it's because we've got the plug on that new unit, it's got this on the other side. But normally this was just, you know, hardwired into the unit, and then it came with 2, you know, bare terminals, which is exactly what this one had. And, you know, it's worked great. Regardless. So, but if you're, then, you know, it's more complicated after that. Then you either got to wire your own 10-volt to that, you got to worry about your own inverter like I had to here, or a lot of guys online have done. Or you just buy one of these updated units. So if you're in the market for a Chinese diesel heater and you're looking at a brand like Vevor, you can get them on Amazon. You can get this exact unit on Amazon, or just, you know, if you want to risk it, go straight to their website. It's also free shipping, typically a little cheaper than their Amazon listing. That's what I've done with fairly good success. But I will say, go with this one. Like, you know, the tank's the same size. I think I haven't measured them or looked at the value, but, you know, they look like the same size. I did open this up, like took the cover off. Yeah, everything's pretty standard, just like the vertical units are. They're all kind of the same. But yeah, I mean, it works great. I haven't had any code so far, and, you know, this is, you know, my 3rd time in 3 days starting it up and giving it a cruise. But carbon monoxide detector, Bluetooth, which I haven't tried yet. Big win here is the built-in power cord. Runs on any power station. Good form factor, one handle. Honestly, go for this. They have a lot of other horizontal ones, but really look carefully at the listing because not all of them have you know, the carbon monoxide detector or the power, or they just have power but they don't have the carbon monoxide detector, or they've got two handles, one on either side, which makes it a little cumbersome compared to the single handle in the middle. But otherwise, yeah, go with this one. It's been great so far. I mean, I don't have a lot of mileage on it, but I'm happy. Okay, hope that helps somebody out there. Thanks.